My name is Jeobu Pete. I'm the CEO and pharmacist in charge for PrimeCare Pharmacy. It needs a lot of education. So, first thing would be the graduation, which everybody has to go through. Then we go into a pharmacy school. Getting into pharmacy school is not that an easy job either because it's so competitive that you have to have a good GPA. You have to have certain practical experience before. You need to show your commitment why you're trying to get into the program. And then once you get into the program, the didactic portion is almost 4 years.
Yeah.
And during the 4 years, you'll be doing externship and internship. So at the end of it would be the internship once you get into the 4th year. Then you have to do 15, if you don't do the internship, you have to do a 1,500 hours of externship program, which train on another pharmacist. After we pass from the school of pharmacy, then you have to face the national board exams. And you have to pass the law, then you'll be awarded a license to practice as a pharmacist. It's very hectic, but I like it. Time flies. It's not like, once you start liking the job, you get it. You'll be dealing with a lot of patients every single day. A typical day would have been, we start the day, you'll have a lot of prescriptions sent by the doctors already waiting in the queue. Patients will be calling, hey, is my prescription's ready? So we get it ready. The technicians will have to get it ready and done. By the time you'll be getting phone calls, hey, my medicine is out, can I get it? All of those. So then the patients will come. The prescriptions count. The input of the prescription is done by the technicians. They count it, they pass it to us. So that's the duty of the technicians to do that part. Then as a pharmacist, we check and verify the prescription is correct. Any drug-drug interactions, any adverse effects for the patient, some contraindications or anything. So it takes about at least 5 minutes if you have to look on everything. And then we come to the patient side, dispense the medications to the patient, and we talk about to the patients. More than likely it will be repeat prescriptions and it's easy to talk. So this all goes on and on and on. And by the time end of the day, you'll be talking to minimum 50 to 100 people a day and changing everybody's life. By that time of the day, you'll be like feeling so happy at the end. Challenging part, time. Because it's really like a fast-paced environment. That's one thing I don't like to rush people's medication. Most rewarding part, I would say, satisfaction. We change people's life. I have seen many people in tears, joy tears, and they come to us for help. Everybody has their own stories. They sit there. We talk a lot in our place because it's more kind of a private, independent atmosphere. It's completely different from a chain pharmacies. So most of my patients, I know their family, know their things, so they know our family too. So we talk a lot, they tell our problems, we try to solve it. The next day, we might get a call back 2 days later and say, hey, what you told me was correct, and that changed my life. That's the most rewarding part. Subject-wise, take any medical related courses in the school. When you start in the high school, you can pick up some medical subjects, medical terminology, healthcare courses, basically healthcare courses. So everything you can get it from the school for a basic healthcare courses and, trying to get extra credits, like, do some CPR training on the side. Go work for part-time with some pharmacies. That's going to help when you sit in an interview with a college for your pharmacy program. I was at this 179 Hancock Street. It was about 3 years back. It's my regular patient. He's about 6.5 feet tall, very heavy guy. He weighs very high, a gigantic person. Okay, so all of a sudden, somebody from the parking lot came rushed to me saying somebody's lying on the floor in the parking lot. So he came to the next door, not to me, next door health spring facility. When I went out, he's lying out, his door is open, he's lying out on the floor. I only had one tech, so immediately I went there, checked his pulse. It's very weak. and short his breath. The moment itself, I know he's getting into a heart attack. I called my technician to go out there, call the doctors from the other end, but for some reason, there was no people coming emergency, so I had to act fast. So my tech called 911, I went inside, grabbed my kit and everything, started CPR right away. We had to do a CPR for almost 25 minutes. EMS came, about 15 minutes, took to the hospital. By the time, like, around 15 minutes, the nurses came from the next place. Then they took over. We had the defibrillator ready, so they did it. But patient gone to the hospital. 2 weeks back, him and his wife came there with a flower and a can of chocolates for my kids. He said, "You saved my life." And I got a call from ER asking the history of the patient, and the doctor told me that if you are not at that in that split second, he would have been gone. That was his second heart attack. She almost like went down his knees and hold his hand like said, "Thank you so much for saving my husband's life." I was like, my goodness, I cannot forget that. At that time, Corona was not there. They both gave me a hug. But this guy gave me a big hug. I was like, that was so rewarding. Mm-hmm. And I felt it. That's what we do every single day. We change people's life. And that's my own motivation in doing the job. You need to like your profession. That's the first thing. Any job you do, make sure you like it. Now, of course, there is monetary benefits we needed to live in this world. And my experience is, if you like your job, you put 100% to it, your life will be so simple, so happy, and you don't have to, and everything else just follows.